Okay, we're live. Great. Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing well today, and I hope that this video finds you all safe, healthy, and well. I wanted to come on real quick and talk to you about using your voice, and I mean using your voice metaphorically and literally. So, using your voice metaphorically. When I was really thinking about this, I thought a lot about using your voice in a way where you're using your agency, using your social position, using your privilege, right? Using your life's experiences, your resources, your network to make a difference in the lives of others. Now, right now, we've had a lot of talk about privilege, right? Who has it? What is it? And, we have all sorts of privilege, and we all have privilege of our own in different forms. So privilege isn't just about your skin color. Privilege is a lot to do with gender as well. Educational privilege, wealth privilege, right? So there's all of these different tiers, and within that privilege is agency. And the agency is, you as an individual, your capacity to be able to make free choices, and it has a lot to do with the resources that are at your disposal and your network. And a good example of that, as I was thinking about that, is someone like LeBron James. He's a black man in this country, and he's good at what he does as a basketball player, but he's gone beyond that. So he's used his layer of privilege and his agency of his resources and network to open up schools, right, in black neighborhoods. And now he started a nonprofit organization to help work against voter suppression. So that is using your agency in a way. And so these tiers within society, they give us all a platform to be able to use our voices effectively. So it's a matter of whose voice is heard more and whose voice is loudest. Now, we could see right now in this country voices being heard, right? But what does the marginalized group have to do in order to be heard? They have to come together, all of them, as a large group, and be the loudest in the room. That's how they make it happen. So if you're thinking about this on an individual level, okay, it's just me. I'm not protesting. I'm not an activist. But you want your voice to be heard. And you want to use your agency in the world, right? Everyone's asking, what can I do? What can I do? And the question really is, what are you willing to do? Because as I thought about how privilege and agency come together, right? We can all assess this individually, how we have that. But how am I willing to use that for the betterment of others? So I would say we probably need to start assessing our privilege and our agency. Assess it within your home, assess it within the workplace, assess it within your church, your social circles, right? And are you willing to use it and exercise it there at the risk of being uninvited, excluded, and even marginalized yourself in some way for something you actually believe in? Yeah, it is a good question, Carol. Yeah, what are you willing to do? And that's the next step in all of this. Going beyond what can I do? Well, what are you willing to do? So what has silence bought us all this time? Being silent and not using your voice. Well, it's given us the status quo. It's giving your sense of privilege, right? You get to continue to live in your privilege. It also gives you this sense of, excuse me, of inclusion and belonging. Because if you don't rock the boat, if you don't speak up, then you have nothing to risk. And there is a system in place that requires the silence of some in order to protect and maintain the privilege of others. And so most of us remain silent out of fear of rejection, out of fear of losing our status quo. We don't want to rock that boat. But what is required now of us is to really have some courage. Courage is not something that's just automatic. It's something that we have to exercise. It's something that we have to build on. I practice courage every time I have to speak up. I speak up a lot when my heart is racing, my mouth is dry. I'm nervous, but this time requires us to do that. Just recently, I spoke up to two people that I've known for years, and I like them. People tend to like me, and I want people to like me, right? And so I feel like if I really tell them, what I really think, they're not going to like me anymore. And I can't do that. Right now, in this moment, I can't do that. So I had to speak up. And to these two people that I had loved and respected, at the risk of them not liking me anymore. And so, are you willing to do that? So I look at courage as a muscle, and we have to build on that. We have to exercise that. So what does that look like? Well, first of all, it looks like us using our privilege and our agency as a part of our voice to do something and to make a difference. So if you are ready to do that, if you are really ready to use your voice in this way, I want you to go to my website at marjoriephoenix.com, and I want you to just click on a 30-minute chat with me, a time for us to talk about that, what that looks like for you, what that feels like for you, so we can, I can help you figure out how to use your voice, your privilege, your agency, identify that, and use that right now because it's needed. Your voice is needed. The resources that you have in your network at your disposal are needed. And so the time is now for us to do that. Before I close, I want to let you guys know that I am hosting another Storytime and Wine this Friday, and the topic is racial reconciliation. Now, the title's a little bit misleading because reconciliation, as I've been reading more and more about that, is really about bringing something back together to the way it was in harmony. And the problem is we've never really had that in this country. So I think what's going to be interesting is to look at what does racial harmony, racial equality look like in this country for us? And what are the steps to start working towards that? So this is a conversation for all of us to be having right now. So I want to invite you guys to come on out to that. That's Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we also share our favorite beverages that we like to drink. So wine, if you like that, or whatever it is, or if it's a cup of tea. But it's going to be a small, intimate group. So look for that on my Facebook page. And then I'll send you out the details for how you can access the Zoom room for that conversation. So thank you guys for coming on and sharing space with me. I always appreciate it. And like I always say, go out and change the world. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.